Buckle up, because we're merging back into traffic on Radio Nemo's Nemo Nation.
This is the last half hour. You can almost call it the post-trip, as it were, the final half hour of Nemo Nation. Later on today, just in a little bit, Dave is going to be recording Nemo's Night Beat. Tell us quickly about that before I get our friend, the Boston Trucker, in the conversation.
We are calling it the multimodal edition of Nemo's Night Beat. We're going to have truck songs, car songs, boat songs, train songs, and plane songs.
And the whole enchilada and the burrito on the side. And the name of the song that you kind of put at the center of it last night. What did you tell me it was going to be by the Eagles?
Yeah, we started talking about that, and then I think I changed gears. But Midnight Flyer.
Well, I think the whole show kind of fell apart.
It
is
really
what happened.
did. Yeah. Putting the pieces together like that little car that you run into the wall. Yeah. Midnight Flyer was a song that I had first heard in the bluegrass world by the Osborne brothers, Bobby and Sonny Osborne. And it's about this guy who's missing this woman and, engineer, put that coal in there and get that train moving on. Well, what is not mentioned in that song, and I didn't know about this until years later, and I thought it was kind of weird that you'd have a song called Midnight Flyer, great song. And a laundry list of people have done it. But there was a train called the Midnight Flyer up in New Jersey that crashed in 1922. And I have the story about that.
On the same day as the Edmund Fitzgerald. No, that didn't happen.
No, really. But, and I thought it was a little incongruous to have a song like that about a train that crashed and people were killed and injured and everything, and not mention anything about it. It's kind of weird. It was almost like Gordon Lightfoot writing a song about the Edmund Fitzgerald, but not mentioning.
And what a good time everybody had in the dining galley.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Nemo's Night Beat, of course, is everywhere that we do the action. I would go to iHeart, by the way, guys, and also on Rees Across America, where it often makes its debut. Big thanks to our friends over at Rees Across America. You can actually make requests for both songs and shows for Night Beat by going to Nightbeat at radionemo.com. Mike Gaffin, of course, is somebody we are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs about. The Boston Trucker, as he is wont to sometimes do, has made his way over to Nemo Nation and joins us this morning. Hey, Mike, what's the good word?
Hey, good morning, guys. Great to be on the show. It's raining in Boston. It's warm. The deep freeze is on its way here. I'm hauling some gravel today across the state and be switching over to the low boy to start moving snow equipment, start getting ready for the season.
Hey, we're sporting 47 degrees right now in New Orleans.
Wow.
Amateur hour, right, yeah. Mike?
Right, absolutely.
That's 25 degrees below normal, though.
Wow.
You
got to get the parkas out and the sweaters.
Yeah. By the way, the Boston Trucker on YouTube is where you can find Mike and find all the action. Mike, I'm going to make this really short and sweet and to the point. You've had some interesting experiments recently with AI, have you not?
I have. I've just discovered AI, and what I'm doing is I'm taking old trucking pictures. I have a huge catalog saved, and I'm bringing them to life with using AI, which I really don't know what I'm doing. Once I figure out what I'm doing, it's going to be even better. But I'm making some really great videos on TikTok and Instagram, taking old school pictures and bringing them to life. And it takes me about 2 hours to make a 1-minute video. There's a lot of trial and error, a lot of editing. You got to pick the right music, but it's getting a lot of great support, and people really seem to enjoy them.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Is I was watching something on CBS Morning on Sunday, and they were talking about the displacement that AI is going to cause left, right, and everything in the middle. One of the people, though, who was incredibly bullish on AI, he had a great line that I loved. He said, AI isn't going to take your job. Some guy or some gal that uses AI is going to take your job. And I really love that kind of outlook at it, the idea that it's like, in the same way Michael Freeze of Transport Topics came on talking about AI, and he said, this is going to get absorbed like everything else does. We all thought that the internet was the end of life as we knew it. It set off a massive economic boom. Are you already beginning to plan when you figure this stuff out, when you really figure out these programs, what your next plans are for what you're going to create?
No, I kind of wing it. No, it's like I'm just sitting there, with the family, and everyone's ignoring each other because they're on their phones, of course, and we're watching television. Like, I'm going to make a video, and I just start going through the catalog. I'm always doing social media when I'm not driving my truck full time and full time dad and trying to be a good husband. But at nighttime when it gets quiet, I'm making videos. I just started. You guys remember the great trucking journalist Betty Garber?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you remember her?
Yeah.
So Betty passed away 17 years ago this Thursday, and she was probably the most well-known journalist. She was with American Trucker and Trucking News and heavy-duty trucks, and she was there during Smokey and the Bandit, the making of it, the movie. You can see her van in part one. And her photos and slides have been moved around the country multiple times, and they've landed with a great guy named Mark Harder. Mark Harder was an owner-operator for PGT and Horseless Carriage, and unfortunately, somebody hit him head-on, and he lost a lot of his eyesight. He can't drive anymore, but Mark has the Betty Garber slides, and he's been painstakingly scanning each one at a time and finding wonderful surprises. And with my help, we've created an Instagram page called @BettyGarberPhotos, where we're uploading photos, the lost photos of Betty Garber. Right now, as we speak, we've already put up about 30 photos, and I'm doing that every day on top of running the Boston Trucker YouTube channel empire.
It's interesting too, Mike, and I've kind of become a little bit obsessed with this as well because my father, who's still alive, but he served in the U.S. military. He's in the Army during the Vietnam War. He was stationed over at the Pentagon, and we have been asked on numerous occasions by numerous people, Dave, if we had pictures of it, if we in fact had pictures. And we don't because of, here's the irony, because of Hurricane Katrina. We lost so much.
Oh, wow.
But the prospects of AI, because of all the other stuff that they have and our ability to kind of reach out to the Department of Defense and get some stuff on my dad from his military time, really sets up some interesting possibilities. Is that, it's reclamation. I mean, what you're doing is you're giving people a chance to kind of have this sort of, this reimagined sense of the past, making it clearer, or at least making it seem more in Technicolor, even if it is in black and white. I mean, when you kind of do this project, do you feel like you're stepping back through time?
100%. It's funny you said that. So I started doing this a couple weeks ago with the AI, and I started by doing the cover girls of Overdrive magazine in the 70s and 80s, where the girls were sitting in a truck looking sexy or posing or doing whatever they were doing, and I first brought them to life, and they jump right off the page. But then as I've been doing this, some of my trucker friends who really love what I'm doing but haven't figured out how to do it yet have been sending me pictures in private. Hey, can you bring this one to life? Can you bring that one to life? A guy sent me 3 pictures of his grandfather in Germany during World War II, his grandfather who he never met, and said, hey, can you bring these pictures to life for me? And I was happily able to do it well with these three pictures. So yeah, definitely, it's cool, but it's creepy, but I think it's really taking a life of its own on, and I think it's amazing.
Well, that's the big thing, by the way. I'm talking to Dave here as well, too. I think the big fight now with AI is to get it, there's a thing, I know you've heard the term, the uncanny valley. Have you heard that expression?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
The uncanny valley, it's really cool, actually. For those people who don't know, it's a term in regards to the replication of something real. That the closer you get to getting it right, the weirder it looks. That every inch you get closer, it's kind of like those stop motion animation things when they would take people and then put animation on top of them. The closer you get to making it look like the thing itself, until you get there, it gets weirder and weirder because they're just little tiny things that are off. And I really think the next big thing is going to be making that final step when they push across, when we can't tell. When we honestly can't tell, when they're able to kind of go in there and reconstruct things in a way that fill in pieces of what is already there as opposed to creating from scratch, which is what you're in the midst of doing, right?
No, you're 100% right. And, sometimes I'm taking old pictures and I don't know sometimes when AI has changed the person's face, and I don't want those people to feel insulted that their loved ones don't look the same. So I'm really trying to be really careful about that because I want people to get a great experience from my videos.
Yeah, and that's really the game. I don't know if people saw it, but there was a movie called Rogue One where they had an actor play Peter Cushing's character from Star Wars, but then they went back in with CGI and kind of let the computers kind of figure it out, and it comes really close, and that's the problem. It comes really close, and you're kind of like, ooh, something's a little bit off here. Okay, what are you seeing out there right now? I mean, I know you're doing your job and you play around with AI, but what's been going on in the last couple of weeks on the job? What's happening?
We're just hauling material, last-minute construction jobs. The cities are digging the roads. The contractors are getting the gas lines and the water mains all squared away for the winter. So we're hauling that material out and recycling it, and just doing a 6-day gig over here, trucking, and it's a nice gig. I'm usually home by 4 o'clock, picking up the kids and doing the dad thing, and meanwhile doing trucking shows in between and interviewing old school truckers to record that history. And I've had a lot of great interviews with some great New England trucking owners that started from scratch, and that's what I'm up to.
The AI stuff you've done, Mike, is amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
It's you can't tell that it's not a movie,
Yeah.
It's just
And that's Dave, and I don't even know what I'm doing yet, Dave. So
I know that's what I'm
really
saying. Yeah,
so it's going to get better.
Crazy.
Yeah. But I get excited. About it. I really like to see the final product. Gets me really excited. That's the kind of stuff I make videos that I want to watch, and hopefully other people want to see them too.
It reminds me of 1988 when a major executive in a trucking company told me, no truck driver's going to give up his lunch box for a portable computer.
Yeah, and they end up doing just that. Hey, Mike, of all the stuff that you've kind of recreated, is there anything that you're really proud of, where you're kind of like, man, that's kind of where I want to head with this stuff?
I just did one for Montfort beef trucks, and I thought that, and got like 150,000 views in a day, and I thought that was just cool. And I like to do that with some other of the companies that are long gone now, and just all of it I'm proud of. I'm happy with the response, and just going to keep it going.
All right, Mike, I have a job for you before we get you out of here. It's a job, and it's meant, and it's aimed at Dave. I want you to tell Dave that playing around with all this stuff and making videos and doing all this stuff, that once you really start doing it, it gets addictive, doesn't it?
Dave, it's a total time suck. Stay away from it.
You're not helping me. He actually can make a living off of this, by the way. We can actually...
That's true. Well, yeah, when you figure that out, Dave, let me know how to do that.
Mike Gaffin has joined us this morning, as he is wont to sometimes do. The Boston Trucker can be found on the Tube of You. There's a lot of great content, some of it in the uncanny valley, but a lot of it fantastic. And the live stuff that he does is informative, to the point, and more importantly, as far as I'm concerned, not just a litany of complaints, but a really kind of fun view of what the world of trucking is like in his corner of the world. Thank you, Mike. We always love having you on.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Dave. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
Happy Veterans Day to everybody out there. Not Happy Veterans. Thank you, veterans, for your service.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Well
Appreciate
done.
all you guys.
And today's the Marine's
All right,
birthday.
guys.
Today's the Marine's birthday. Thank
Yes, sir.
you very much.
250 years.
Thank you so much, Mike Gaffin.